all the big players are here. Lots of wonderful partners and sponsors. But one I just had to highlight here, last mile experts. Let's go. So I'm really pleased to be here with my friend Artur from Novapost. And I'm going to actually first share a secret that not many people know. My mother was born in a town called Tarnopil. And where is Tarnopil?
Ternopil in Ukraine, in western Ukraine.
So not only are there great things coming from Tarnopil, but there are great things coming from Kiev. And Novapost is from Kiev. And I'm particularly pleased to be in front of a locker. And Artur, how many lockers does Novapost have today?
We have 31,000 workers at Ukraine.
31,000 lockers. Now, that makes these guys the biggest single company locker network in Europe. Wow.
Thank you. But it is not over. It is our start.
And that's the thing about Novaposta. Novaposta, every day is day one. They grow, they develop, they expand. And I'm looking forward to really exciting things coming from Novaposta. Final word, have to say it, Slava Ukraini.
Heroes are.
So in case you don't know, Hivebox is actually the largest locker network in the world. I'm not sure what the latest count was. When I last looked a couple of years ago, it was 400,000 machines. Just to give you a comparison, the biggest network in Poland has around about 30,000. So that puts it in perspective. Here, they're also demonstrating a machine. So interesting. I'm pleased to see that there are far more companies offering sorting equipment than I initially imagined. Again, we've got a lot of the big names, Fives, big player. We've got Interroll behind us. So I'm here at Post Expo with Rory, who's the CEO of Scurri. And I'm really interested, Rory, if you can tell me, why are you here at Post Expo?
Yeah, it's we've been here a number of times, and it's a great show to meet with clients, prospective clients, and people who are just interested in what we're doing. So we find it a great source of leads, but also information to find out what's going on in the industry.
Well, you like what I say now. I've always said that software is the secret sauce behind everything in the last mile. Tell me a bit about your software. What are the key sort of features and benefits for your clients?
Yeah, well, I think the great thing about our software is we built it originally for retailers, but then we also use that to provide a software for the people that then deliver the parcels, etc., for those customers. So we have a white label product that's used by postal services, carriers, and marketplaces. And because we started by building for the actual retailer, we understand what the retailer's needs are and their customers' needs. So the white label product is, very consumer friendly at the end of the day.
And if you were to choose one client implementation that you're particularly proud of, which would it be?
Oh, eBay. So eBay uses us right across Europe and across the world for providing their customers, their sellers and buyers, with a great delivery experience.
So here we have it. If you want to find out what's the power behind eBay, come and talk to this chap at the Scurri stand. So Leonardo are also here. It's not a name that I would automatically associate with sorting equipment, but they're here as well in force at Parcel+Post Expo. So I'm here with Erich from KEBA, and he's got something really cool. I'm a big fan of AI in the last mile, and you have something really good to show us. Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, I have to show you an AI solution where we detect what is happening in a room or even out in front of a locker. So we have just using IP cameras, and on the edge, directly it's processed and it detects what is happening. So it detects me as a person. It detects if I'm laying down. It detects if you're coming too close. And in this use case, it detects also parcels. So, and we have here a use case about parcel fraud topic.
So show us, Erich, how it works. So you're there, it's detected you, and you're now going to drop off a parcel.
Yeah.
Or maybe not.
Or maybe not, yeah. So I have the parcel. I drop the parcel. scan the code, choose the box, and maybe I decide not to drop it. And I get the receipt and I leave.
Drop was not completed correctly. I had taken a photo and notified the operator. Please restart the drop-off process.
So the topic is
So drop-off was completed successfully. Thank you.
and so the topic is instead of you can check this with cameras, yeah, but you have to investigate the topics. In this case, it's about prevention.
So I think this is really cool. AI, I think, is going to be the next frontier for parcel lockers. I love it that KEBA is doing something in this space. So please keep us posted how this develops, because I can imagine there are going to be elements of technology like this. There's going to be predictive maintenance, lots of things that make our lives easier with parcel lockers. Thank you, Erich.
Thank you, also.
Interesting product from Equinox, and it seemed to be able to identify the parcel and then know where to put it on the sorting line. So I'm with my friend Bart, who's CEO at Last Mile Logistics, one of our favorite stands to come and visit at Parcel+Post Expo every year. And you've got something a little bit special. You know, I'm a big fan of AI, so tell us about it, Bart.
Yeah, we have AI running on the cameras in parcel machines, and AI will detect fraud, theft, vandalism, and it will also help to improve processes. So when there are mistakes being made by delivery agents, AI will tell instantly and help improve it.
So can you walk us through how exactly it works? Maybe give an example of a use case?
Our use case would be people ordering stuff online and then having it delivered in a parcel machine, going over with their face covered, and then retrieving the parcel, closing the door again, and then saying that the door was empty. The locker was empty, but still they retrieved their parcel.
Okay.
A very simple example.
So, you know, we have porch piracy, which is a big deal. Lockers are supposed to combat that. But also we have, as lockers become more and more prominent, then you have more and more cases of actually locker piracy. So I think this combats that.
Yeah, and I think that nobody likes to talk about fraud. If we're talking to the big customers, everyone will say, well, fraud is not that big, but if they really open the books and we really have some, they trust us, then they really tell us that fraud is quite significant.
So I always say the proof is in the pudding. Can you just show us a little bit how this actually looks? I'll leave the screen to you and you can show it.
Yeah. We had, while you were here, we had our colleague delivering a parcel, and what you can see is that first of all, it will recognize human behavior, and it will also detect the parcels. And then we can add other business logistics, combining it with the APL software information. Is the parcel in the camera view? Is there a guy? Is there a face? Does the door open? Yes or no? And if we combine all that, we can reduce fraud, theft, and human errors.
Wonderful. Well, look, I'm looking forward, Bart.
And maybe can I put one last keynote? Because parcel machine projects are growing rapidly in large numbers, and we think that keeping up with fraud and theft, the only way you can do it is when AI will help you detect it, because it's expanding so rapidly, these networks of APLs.
Well, I will second that, but looking forward to more developments next year. One other thing I have to say, these guys not only have incredible technology, but they have the best coffee in town. And I have to say, if ever you're at Post Expo, this is a place to come. Last Mile Logistics Stand. We're here every year for good contacts, good information, and great coffee.
I say thank you very much, Marek.
Although dynamics are something that are clearly there in Last Mile Logistics, and you can see that year on year, there are still some big players, but generally speaking, it is parcel lockers. And I suspect AI is going to be the next big thing that is going to be taking over at Parcel+Post Expo. Now, my friend Marek has actually shared a story that CMC were one of his first partners for sorting equipment at UPS. Of course, we got Boimer as well. So a lot of the big names are still here. So I'm here with the second part of Last Mile Profits. Gary, great to see you here.
I think I
prefer to be known as the first part of Last Mile Profits, and I'm here with the second part of Last Mile Profits, if that's all right with you.
A part of Last Mile Profit.
We're here, aren't we, mate?
And you'll note no hats today.
No. It's Gorbachev is looking.
Yeah, thank you. I knew he'd come up with something. But look, let's talk about much more important stuff. Let's talk about the locker, because I can see some new features. What's new today?
Well, every single thing about this locker is brand new. So we have a number of new features, but the reason we've taken a little while to come to market with an autonomous locker is that we didn't want to compromise. So as you know, our UK network is built on the back of the Zillow locker with the printer and the Dropbox. We didn't want to come to market without a printer and without a Dropbox. So this is a battery-powered, autonomous printer Dropbox locker that is, the battery is topped up by solar. So it's kind of fully independent. The solar panel's charging the battery, so it's no visits.
Gary, as you can imagine, I love the functionality, but tell me honestly, how long does the battery last in one of these things?
Well, we're reckoning 10 years. 10 years with it constantly being recharged by the solar. We're at the kind of pilot trial stage of it. So this is a prototype. We'll be deploying in the UK in the next months. And obviously we need to put them in Scotland. We need to put them in places where it's cloudy, where it's not bright sunshine. I think anybody can make a locker like this work in Las Vegas, making it work in
Glendronach
country.
It's good that you mentioned that, because Gary and I had a little bet, which I won. He didn't quite come up with the goods, the whiskey-based goods, but I'm going to make another bet. This is your chance to win with me.
All right.
So it's a bet I actually made with the chaps at Swipbox a while ago when they had their battery-powered locker, and they said, I think, 9 years.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to wait 10 years to drink this whiskey.
Well, it's fine. It should be a good one by then.
But indeed. But if in 10 years' time, on one battery charge, it's working.
I don't have you on one battery charge, but we'll see. One more new feature, tiny doors. So we've had our small, medium, and large compartments, but as we've talked about on Last Mile Profits over and over again, the market is absolutely moving into the direction of small parcels, C2C, Vinted, eBay, all of this stuff. The parcels are getting smaller and smaller, and we've responded to that by cutting a compartment in half and having extra small. So even for pick up and drop off, if you won't go into the Dropbox, or if you haven't rented a Dropbox from us, we've still got these extra small compartments. It's all about driving parcel density through the minimum footprint to drive down operating costs.
Absolutely, because the reality is most parcels are actually pretty small.
Yeah.
Love it. Looking forward to seeing more of these. Can I touch this? Will it work?
No, you have to touch the screen.
To touch the screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Parcel Pending. Brilliant.
Gary, looking forward to seeing more of these out and in action, and maybe we'll cover them in a Last Mile Profits video.
And they're going to be going to Manhattan as well, so we're ready for that.
Thank you very much, Gary. Been a pleasure as usual. So this year's Parcel+Post Expo has come to an end. It's been a jam-packed event. Unsurprisingly, lockers everywhere, but what really interested me was the number of AI tools that are beginning to show up. And I think that's a theme for the future. Looking forward now to seeing you next year, 23rd to 24th of September in London.